Hey guys, it's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I design workshops that help you create beautiful projects from start to finish with easy to follow guides. Okay, so sorry, I just had to make sure I was in the right spot. So full disclaimer here, I have flipped my desk the opposite way that I'm used to working. So I'm going to try and remember to check every once in a while that I've got everything in camera view because it is a little bit backwards from what I'm used to. So, and I am definitely a creature of habit. So I just wanted to say hello and welcome to my first Festive Friday. So I decided to try something a little bit different this year, and I am going to do a live every Friday during the month of December. The last one we're going to have to see because it actually ends up being like the 30th of the month. But so far I have a roughed in plan for the first ones. Okay, I think I have myself now pulled up. Okay, so basically, hey Cynthia. So my plan is I'm going to create a project every Friday live with you. There'll also then be a blog post about it, and there's also going to be a form of a downloadable PDF. So if you're interested in today's PDF, just simply comment Santa, and I can add the link after. It'll take you to the downloadable sheet. Hey, Kim. Hey, Kylie. Good morning. Yes, it's late afternoon actually here now. So, and just see, everything's backwards to me right now. But I put up my first Christmas decoration today. So I think Emmy was trying to come in the room. Oh, she's like right behind my chair, so I can't also move. They're also getting used to my office being reversed. So, but I got a new carpet and she quite likes the carpet on the ground. So are you ready to start creating? So the PDF is ready to go. So if you comment Santa, I will add that link after. Like I said, I'm going to add my desk into the view now. Okay. So here we go. I do some form of this. Kylie, yes, the background confused you. Yes, because actually I am still getting used to it. It is always funny when you are a creature of habit to change something on yourself and then not really know what's going on some of the time. And then because my desk is backwards, this one could actually technically really throw me, but we will see. Oh, and I left my glass of water in the kitchen, but that's okay. Okay, so every year I make some form of this cute Santa. Thank you. My little water fairy dropped off my glass of water. So you guys have seen these all over the place. There's tons of inspiration for these fun things. So this is one of the thin cuts from Close to My Heart. I made this a few years ago in my series that I did on the Favor Treat thin cut. One of my absolute favorite thin cuts ever. I've done tons of things with them. It's just super cute because it's nice and tiny and you could put like just a couple treats in it. I turned it into a Christmas tree. I turned it into a snowman. And of course I decorated it like Santa. We're not making this today, but that's where partially the inspiration came from for today. And then I also made it into like a tag before, which is super cute. So to add to the top of a present. So we're going to kind of mesh these two projects together and we're going to create what I'm going to create today. And this is what we're going to create today. So we're going to make, I turned the to-go cup into Santa's suit. So yeah, flip it over and open, and then I have a little gift card holder in here and then a little message. This is one of the messages from the tag special we have right now from me to you. So let's get making this project. So like I said, there is a sheet if you want it. It's got all the supplies that I'm gonna use today on it. as we go. So here we go. I have my bits and pieces. I'll put that over out of my way because it's got some stuff for my other things. Okay, so I did use the to-go thin cut for this. I thought, thanks, Sarah. I thought it was super cute too. I actually was, when I first started planning Festive Fridays, I looked back at some of the things I've done in the month of December before, and that is kind of how the whole thing started. And then, like, there's a lot of Fridays in December, so I thought this is kind of just like a perfect little thing to have happen. So I have nieces and nephews. They're all like in their late teens, so I do give a lot of gift card holders. This would make a great gift card holder for a teacher, or you could just turn it onto a tag to add on the top of a present also, right? So I cut my pieces from the to-go cups thin cut. I'll show you my pieces. And so I did use candy apple, and then I did cut out the belly band in black. We're going to alter this. Then I have some gold glitter and some black. I cut out some circles with gold glitter because you got to have gold glitter. It's Christmas time. Then I've cut out the lid for the to-go cup in white. And then his ruffle. We're going to alter his ruffle so that it fits properly. I've got some ink here, my Mink ink and my evergreen. I've got a sponge. I've got the gold spectrum metallic markers, and then one red marker for coloring the holly on the tags, because I used this little stamp set, which is one of the stamps from me to you special. That's like a lot to say. So this one is called a holiday treat because I thought it went super well with the cup, and it says a holiday treat just for you. Okay, so we're going to use that. And then I have grabbed some black and white dots, and we're going to create his buttons right away. So I can move my little tray of goodies out of the way. Okay, so now it's time to stand up. FKA doke. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color my dots so that they have a chance to dry before I put them on Santa's suit. The metallic gold marker does dry super quickly, so you don't have to worry too much about it, but we have to start somewhere. So that is where we're going to start. So I did use 3 of the largest circles, or dots, I guess we could call them. And so I'm going to color those first. I don't have any big ones on here left. Okay. And the gold markers do have 3 different tips. And I'm going to use this one that's the 3 mil. And, there we go. I just wanted like a little scrap piece of paper. So I'm going to do 3. If you want more buttons on Santa's suit, you can do more. So I'll just test it, make sure it's fine. If you haven't used a marker like this before, you just need to prime it. So you shake it and then press the tip until the ink starts to flow. The ink on these markers is lovely. It is so nice. And like I said, it does dry super quick. Oh, I forgot a little edge here. And then one last one. I have had the question before, can you color any color with them? And yes, you can. So we'll do one that is black. And it does have very good coverage. So if you have like a color of dots that maybe you were using on a project and you had just some extras, you could always just recolor them. with your metallic markers. And see, you can't even tell the difference between the black and the white when we're done. So, okay, I'm going to set that aside. And now we have some more pieces. I'm just going to grab my Versamat. So, if you have not seen this to-go cup thin cut, you cut out all of these pieces, right? And I have candy apple for my base of Santa's suit. And the only thing to be conscious of with this thin cut, because you'll see it's like one big piece. So when you put it down on your platform to cut it, remember that whatever you have facing up is going to be the inside of the card, right? And when you close this, it'll be the opposite. So you can see, I don't know if you could see really well on camera, but I on purpose put my true side down so that when the thin cut, I had that real candy apple red color, not the lighter one. So I am going to just fold my thin cut card base. And like I said too, you could also just, if you wanted to use this as like a card or a tag on something, just chop off the top part and just create the tag for Santa's suit without the cup holder. But because I was given a Starbucks gift card, I thought I might as well use the lid to the cup. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stamp my circle for the inside with my sentiment so that it has a second to dry, because I'm not using intense black ink. I am going to use evergreen. So I just wanted to give it a few seconds to dry before I actually put ink down onto it. So, right, it's because it's just a little tiny bit that I'm going to color green, or I'm going to color red for the holly berries. But I liked, see, I have to keep making sure I am in camera, because like I said, I am backwards to the way I normally am. So I did try it in black first, and I didn't like it as much as the evergreen. So I changed it. So I'm just going to ink up my sentiment and try and center it. I don't know why when my desk is backwards, I also feel like all of a sudden it got taller, because I do work at like counter height. So I'm just letting it sit here for a second, and then I'm going to set it to the side to dry before I take my marker to it. There we go. I can move that out of the way, close up my ink. So now we're going to just add a little bit of a shadow to the to-go cup lid so that it looks more realistic. So I grabbed mink ink, which I always have a hard time saying. I'm not really sure why, because it's, I guess it's a little bit like a rhyme. Okay, so then the other thing I'm going to show you is I wanted to have kind of follow the line of the cup lid. So when I cut out my thin cuts, I have an extra one that I used for shading. So I just cut a piece out of, good morning, Gay. I just cut a piece out of like a discontinued piece of cardstock that I had lying around. And I'm going to use this to just add my shadow, kind of just to follow the line of the bottom of the cup, right? So I will say this is the first time I've gone live backwards, since my office is backwards, and I very quickly discovered I'm going to have something on this side to put stuff, because that is my tendency. So I just have a sponge, have a little piece of gray cardstock on there, and it says Mink, and then I'm just going to place the extra piece right where I want to add a little bit of shadowing. And I picked Mink because it's not very dark, but you will be able to see it right away. So I don't know if you can, while it's on the white, you can actually really see it. So it's just added, it's just grounded that bottom layer of the plastic cup lid. So I'm just going to add a little bit around the outside edges also. You could also draw a line if you wanted to have a more distinct line there. But I just kind of wanted just a little bit so that it looked a little bit more realistic. So again, that was my Mink ink and just my little sponge. Okay, so now the only other thing we're going to do is we have to turn this into the ruffle for Santa. So you can see it's actually meant to go across your to-go cup like that, but I thought it kind of looks like his ruffle. So we're going to alter it, and you're going to notice it's not exactly perfect straight across, but once the card's together, I don't actually think you notice that. So I'm just going to grab my little trimmer here. And so I'm just going to make it straight on my trimmer. You could also do like this out of glitter paper if you prefer to have a little sparkly ruffle. So now you could see I've just made it straight across. It's, like I said, it's not perfect, but you're not going to notice it once the card is together. So then I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to take a different metallic marker. So I'm going to use the really skinny one, which is the 0.7 mm's. Okay, so I have used all of these, right? But like I said, if you needed to start it, you just push it down. I'm sure, like I had these kind of markers when I was in high school, and they were always tons of fun. So what I did was I just roughly figured out where the middle of his ruffle was, and then I drew a line down the middle so that it looks like he's like doing up his buttons, right? So I drew one down the middle, and then 1/8 of an inch on each side. So if I just center it on my Versamat, then I know where the center is. And you know what, I'm just going to, so it doesn't slip it on me while I'm on camera, of course, I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of adhesive to the back. Okay, so I'm centering it here, and then I know my middle is right there. And I'm just going to make sure my metallic marker is going well. So one down in the middle. And then I just did one about 1/8 of an inch on both sides. Just like that. Santa is cute kind of no matter what you do to him, so I just have to say. Okay, so now we've done his lapel, so now all we have to do is actually put all our pieces together. Oh, here. I thought I lost my cup there for a second, my base. Okay, so there is on the to-go cup just a little fold line. So I'm just going to burnish that with my bone folder. And Marcia, I'll add the link as soon as I'm finished the video. And then you can just click to get the download. And on the sheet, it will take you to YouTube for the replay if you want to watch the video again. There's a little QR code on the top. Okay, so now it's all folded. So now I just need to put it together. I'm going to move my extra piece away. So also I cut the full belly band, but I'm not going to use the whole thing. You're going to see in 1 second. So you can decide which way you like his ruffle better. I'm going to go like that, I think. So again, I'm just kind of looking for the center. Okay, so then I use the belly band and we're just going to cut it off. So that, see, once it's down, you can't actually tell that the ruffle is crooked at all. So I'm going to add adhesive to the middle of the belly band. I'm going to put it where I like it. So I did add it about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom probably. And you'll see it overlaps. I'm just going to flip it over and trim it. And I'm going to do that from the back side because you can see way better where to trim it so that it is perfectly in line with the front of the cap. So there we go. Now we've got his black belt on. So then I'm going to add his buckle. And his buckle, I did do 2 inches by 2 inches because I wanted it wider than the belly band so it would stick up above and below just a little bit. And then I cut a black layer, and this one is 1.5 by 1.5 because I just wanted it just a little bit smaller so it actually looked like a buckle. I'm going to add my gold dots on last. So now we can add the circle on the inside. You can obviously just add white cardstock to the inside to add your message if you prefer. I just wanted to bring the gold glitter from the front of the card to the inside. So there we go. And now I have my holiday treat just for you, and I'm just going to tap in a little bit of red. So I was going to say something, but I can't remember. It'll come back to me. So I grabbed my dark red blend, and I'm just going to add just a little bit of color to my berries. You could also add a little bit more color onto your holly if you wanted. The sky is the limit. Just remember to have something underneath because you can see my red came through. Okay, so now I have that. Just let me grab my gift card. I thought it was on the tray, but it's not. So we're going to use a different one. So when I want to adhere something to the inside of a card or a gift card holder, and I don't necessarily want to use the thin cut to cut the tabs, you can. So you can use the thin cut that cuts out the tabs, but just be very conscious that where you're cutting your tabs is going to be covered up by the ruffle. So it totally fits. You have tons of room if that's what you want to do, but just make sure to do it first and center it really well in the middle of the card. I always just use a glue dot if it's something easy like this that I'm worried about it going through to the front. So I'm just literally going to add 2 glue dots, and they're relatively easy for somebody to take off. So just like that. Okay, so now our inside is all done. It would be really cute too with like a little stamp on the back. That would be really cute too. So I'm going to add the lid now because then I can space my dots out nicely. So I'm going to actually add the adhesive to the lip that's sticking over. Just like that. Then it will stick where I want it to, right? And I'm not going to, because if you put the adhesive on here, you could go past the lip and then you've got adhesive on your cup lid that hangs off and gets on your card. So I am just going to center it and I'll show you. So I am centering it and making sure that the 2 edges of my cup lid are right on the top. So you can see they're right here on the top edge. Okay, and then I can open it up again and just burnish it with my bone folder so that now it's stuck really well. So like I said, you could totally outline it if you wanted to add more detail to it, but I just wanted it to be like a hint. Okay, so oh, here they are. I'm like, it's not a very big space. How did I lose my gold embellishments? So these have like more than easily dried. You can touch them and nothing comes off. So like I said, it's super fun. If you have a few extras that are a color that you were using on a certain project and then you didn't need them anymore or they didn't match your next project, just cover them with your metallic markers. Okay, so I'm going to put one relatively close to the top and one relatively close to the bottom, and then I'm going to add my one in the middle. That way I get them relatively centered. And I'm actually going to use this black one that we colored so that when I put it on, you'll see that you actually will not be able to tell the difference. It covers it so well. So there. And there. So I'm just kind of spacing them about the same. And then I will just add my last one. Right there in the middle. So that is a super cute. I think it turned out really cute. So on the PDF, which I actually meant to print before I started out of practice, there is a picture of the card and all of the supplies. So that's what I've got for you guys today. And like I said, you'll see me back every Friday in December. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out the last one. And then I've had to make some modifications to some of my projects. with the way that the supplies are at the moment. So I have my project roughed in for next week already, and I will see you back here next Friday. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.